Good evening and welcome to the Thai PBS World. Tonight, Kun Thep Chai is joining me on the court ruling of the dissolution of Future Forward Party.
So the Future Forward Party is no more.
Yeah.
After the decision by the Constitutional Court today to have the party disbanded over the 191 million baht loans the party received from Thanathorn over the past 2 years,
Yes.
year and a half, because the court found the obtaining of the loans from Thanathorn by the party to be in violation of the Political Parties Act, and that's the basis of the court ruling today that led to the party dissolution.
Yes, so it means that executive members, 10 executive members will be ripped of their status for 10 years and they cannot register for the new party within 10 years.
Yes. So basically it means they are banned from politics, from active politics for the next 10 years.
Yes.
So this is the breakdown of the decision of the court today. Of course, I mean the most important aspect of the decision is the disbanding of the Young Party. And then all the 15 members of the executive committee of the party will be banned from politics for the next 10 years. And 10 of the executives who are MPs will have their MP status stripped off. So that means that from today on, they are no longer MPs. They include all these big names in the party, of course. I mean, Kun Thanathorn, in fact, is no longer an MP anyway. And then you have Kun Piyabut Sangkanakul, the party secretary general and the top ideologue of the party. And then you have Kun Pongsakorn Ratchompu, the deputy leader of the party, who has been most outspoken, or one of the most outspoken party's executives on military affairs. And of course, I mean, the face of the party, Kun Pandika Wanit, the spokeswoman, she also loses her MP status.
Yes, and to see what will be happening next and what's the point of dissolution of Future Forward Party. Right now we have Associate Professor Jet Thonavanik, former advisor of Constitution Drafting Committee, joining us on the phone. Hello, Professor Jet.
สวัสดีครับ
ค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ So what's your point? I mean, how do you see, what's your take of the court's ruling of this dissolution?
I mean, personally, I feel that the court ruling went a little bit far-fetched because I was thinking that the court might have stopped at only Section 66 of the party law, just to rule that the action of Kun Thanathorn and other members of the political party committee was doing something that was unlawful and illegal, which means that in lending money or in making that loan, they were hiding the other contribution behind. So therefore, it's only the wrongful act under Section 66. Mm-hmm. But the court took it a little bit far to include also that it is a contribution that is illegal under Section 72. Mm-hmm. And Section 72 is linked to Section 92. In Section 92 dissolved the party, and by dissolving the party, also dismissed all the members of the committee. And all the other members will have to find a new party. So that's a little bit far.
But you think by making the decision like this, the court is trying to send out some message to the remaining political parties?
I don't think the court was sending out any message, but through the decision, I think a message has been sent by way of the decision itself, that all other parties, especially all those 16, 17 parties that were named and were also pointed out that they were also acting somehow close to what the former Future Forward were doing. So this is quite a message that they will have to be careful And not only to those parties, but also to those other parties that had done something in the past involving contributions or involving finding money for the party.
Professor Jet, what do you think with the censure debate which will happen next week? What will be aftermath after today's court ruling? What's your take?
Well, I think, of course, some of the rising stars have fallen, but some of the rising stars will be arisen. I think because, let's say, like, for example, Ajahn Piyabu, of course he's falling today, but there might be a new star rising in the house, because all of the discussion that will happen, all the debate that will occur, will need these people. The rest of the MP that, of course, I think at the day of the no confidence debate, they will not yet be members of the other parties. So they will still be sort of the former Future Forward Party members. And they will be representing somehow the former Future Forward Party in the House. So these might be a rising star. Therefore, I don't think it's that bad that we lose 11 up to 15 people, because there's still about 50, 60 people in there.
I see. Ajahn Jet, of course, we all have to accept the ruling of the court. But what do you think will be the impact on the Thai politics as a whole? Because today there has already been some strong reaction from governments in European countries, because they are concerned that the decision by the court would not have a positive effect on the development of Thai democracy.
I think those countries that call themselves democratic countries or countries under democratic systems will have questions on the constitutional court and might act in a way in which perhaps not so far as to pressure Thailand, but to warn or to give comment or to sort of give recommendation or suggestion that we will have to do something with our democracy. Because they might see that our democracy in these days somehow is not the democratic system in which they've seen in their own country or in which they wanted to see in our country. So that's the international matters. But the internal matter, I think, in the parliament, not quite a problem, as I said, that some of the other MPs might still be doing well, but off the parliament, and we already see on the road that there's movement. And we don't know how far this movement will be. Maybe it grows into demonstration, maybe it grows more than that. And it can be a foot rally, and it can be anything else that grows to be protest, and hopefully will not be something that is of big tension and create something that will be hurting the country more.
Yeah.
All right.
So obviously the Future Forward Party must be very disappointed with today's court ruling. But will it mean that it will speed up confrontation atmosphere between this camp and the government?
I think yes, it will. And we see now that Kun Thanathorn is on the back of the truck, and many other supporters are also on the road path. And they vow to create this group, and also called the same, Future Forward Group. So I think they are confronting the government, and there will be confrontation between this group as well as the other people inside the parliament against the government. And they will be scrutinizing all the actions of the government. And not only that, they will be looking back to what the government, especially NCPO, the former NCPO, had done in the past.
Okay. Thank you very much, Professor Jet, for joining us.
Thank you, Kap.
Thank you. And the pictures you just saw on the screen were taken in front of the building that houses the headquarters of the former Future Forward Party. There are still hundreds of people, supporters of the party, that have answered the call from Thanathorn and other leaders of the party to gather there to offer moral support to the former members of the party.
Yes, and they said in the press conference that tonight is long night for them, and for them perhaps this is just the beginning. So we will have to stay tuned with the political situation in Thailand, and that's all we have time for Thai PBS World ทั้งหมดคือข่าว